Hi friends, welcome to another video. So if you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Lauren. I'm an aspiring author writing my debut novel. It is a sapphic contemporary romance about two girls raised in a conservative Christian community who meet on a blind date with boys from their town. So for today's video, I was kind of inspired by like the monthly wrap-ups that like the OG beauty YouTubers would do back in the day. I like ate those up back in like 2011, 2012. So I kind of wanted to do a like author wrap up. So today I'm going to be going through what I read, wrote, watched, and then a little bit of like the music that I listened to in July. So let's jump in. Let's start with what I read this month. It was a pretty solid reading month for me. I did 3 books. The first of which was The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. I have it right here, had the cute little sprayed edges. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars. It's not my favorite of their novels. I'd still say that's One Last Stop, but I did really enjoy it. I mean, Casey is like one of my favorite authors of all time, like kind of always gonna be a 5-star. So this book is about Kit and Theo. They were former best friends turned lovers, then had a horrible breakup in the airport on the way to I think it's 4-week food and wine tour across Europe. Disastrous, absolutely disastrous. Ended in Kit staying in Paris and Theo moving back to California. And then 4 years later, they meet again on that same food and wine trip because they accidentally booked the same month to redeem their like cancellation vouchers. So it's a really interesting premise. I loved the setting and food descriptions here. It's a really gorgeous setting. They go through France, Spain, and Italy in this, and like I have a lot of dietary restrictions. I can't eat gluten, can't eat shellfish, not good with dairy. Like I can't eat anything described in this book. Not a single thing. And I also don't drink. So even though I can't and won't be having anything described in this, I still wanted it. It was still so good. Oh my goodness. Like I was literally like wishing I could have it on my plate, like go into the story for a little bit just to try some of the like the pizzas in like Italy, and then the French food. Oh, it sounded so good. But beyond that, because it is a romance novel, you're not reading it for the food descriptions. I did like their relationship. It was definitely a little more maybe charged than previous CMQ books. It's interesting. It's split into 2 different points of view. It's split in half. So the first half is Theo's, the second half is Kit's, instead of, you know, being like alternating chapters or something like that. I definitely preferred Kit to Theo. Like once we got to his section of the book, I was like, finally, because he's a yearner. He's definitely a yearner. Capital R-Y, real yearner. I loved him. Theo was definitely a little more frustrating as a character. You very quickly learn that they are a bit of a nepo baby, but refusing help from their family. So it's kind of like, it's a little frustrating to be like, why? Like, get over yourself. Kind of, it's a little frustrating, kind of, because you're obviously like rooting for Theo as a character and also like in the relationship, and you can see how they're constantly getting in their own way. And it's also kind of like not resolved until you're already in Kit's point of view. So that part was kind of like, that's kind of like my main detraction for it. But otherwise, I really enjoyed the book. And I would definitely recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. Maybe like a 4.75 round up, but still 5 out of 5. And then the next book I read was Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang. I read this on my Kindle. I have a little sticker on it. It says, "Ghouls just want to read books." I love this thing. This was definitely a different experience for me. I'm not usually a fantasy reader. I think I mentioned this in my first writing vlog, but I kind of only read fantasy in like the winter mostly. So I put this on hold in the winter, and it took until July to get it off of hold. But I didn't want to like keep pushing it down the road until like November, so I just went ahead. But I love this. I was definitely taken by surprise. It took a minute to like get my head around the magic system, which always kind of happens with fantasy when I'm diving into a new world. But once I kind of like got the world building and the magic of it all, I was in it. This was an easy 5 stars. I was totally stunned. So Blood Over Bright Haven is about Siona, I have no idea how to pronounce it, but she is a like highest level student in magic. She's training to become a high mage, We open on the day of her like test to confirm her placement in High Mage, and the thing about her is that she's aiming to be the first woman to actually make it into the High Magistry. She, you know, gets in and starts to kind of realize the truth of the world around her, and that's helped in part by Thomil? I'm horrible with fantasy name pronunciations, but he is a member of, they're called the Quen. It's kind of like a second class. It's very steeped in like racist, xenophobic, you know, sentiment. He's given to her as an assistant by a higher ranking male mage to kind of like put Skiona in her place. They end up working together. They kind of figure out like the truth of the world, and it's really, really interesting to see how everything breaks down. It's a really fascinating portrayal of deconstruction of like religion, and I did not expect that going in. There's a huge religious aspect to this novel, and like the religion of their world, like their god, and how everything is justified through God and through these like founding mages. Seeing Skiona kind of like deconstruct and the trauma, I guess, of that process was so interesting. There was this really cool juxtaposition of her righteous indignation at her treatment as a woman, because women are very much marginalized in this society, her kind of like fire over that, but then also like not thinking twice at kind of like falling into the like propaganda of the Quen as second-class citizens and like the racism and xenophobia of all that. It's really, really fascinating. And it's like, you know that meme, I think it's from Community, where it's like, you draw the line at racism. I'll see if I can put it here. She was like realizing she was like brainwashed and propaganda'd in real time. It was really, really cool. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely pick up more from this author. I know they did like, I think it's Sword of Kaigen, I want to say, so I might see that in a couple months. Who knows? And then the last book I read this month was also on my Kindle. I got it from the library. It was Before I Say I Do by Claire Lydon. This is a sapphic contemporary romance. I gave it 3 stars. It was kind of it was interesting. I actually filmed a vlog. I'm kind of like in the process. I have one more book that I'm reading for that, so you should see it in like a week or 2, hopefully. Make a long story short, it had a lot of potential, but the execution was lacking. The book is about Jordan. She is a professional bridesmaid who gets hired for a job to help Abby down the aisle. She's hired by Abby's fiance, Marcus. So as a professional bridesmaid, she's kind of there for everything. She's at the bachelorette party, she's organizing things, she's at the venue, planning everything. So through this process, she and Abby develop feelings for each other. And there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of potential. It was just the execution was a little lacking, in my opinion. It was very sexualized, and like there wasn't a lot of emotional connection between the two, which was definitely a letdown. I'm very big on there actually being that like emotional connection and having like romantic chemistry before anything like physical pops in, which this kind of went in the other direction. It wasn't quite insta love, but it kind of also was. It was like a weird mix between the two. But that's everything that I read. So now onto what I wrote. So this month, my July goal was to write 10,000 words, and I did hit it. I got 10.7 thousand, so 10,700. Not as much above my goal as I was kind of like hoping for, that I was on track to hit, but I'm pretty happy with it. It was a busier month than expected. I'm a freelancer, and in one of my largest contracts ended this month, so a lot of my free time that I usually dedicate to writing was spent on LinkedIn and Indeed. So that changed plans, but I'm still pretty happy with what I did. My lowest writing day was 203 words, but my highest writing day was 1,044. I only had one 1K day, but I'm hoping for more in the next month. But I also wrote 20 days. I think my longest streak was like 3 or 4 days. I don't write every day. I burn out that way, but 4 days in a row was pretty solid. I was happy to see that. Maybe I'll put my little track bear like map, I guess it's called. But outside of stats, I'm really happy with how it's going so far. I'm working on chapter 6, which is where the double date happens. I'm so excited about it. I'm now about 17,000 in. It's going well so far. I'm feeling myself still kind of like working out the nuances of these characters, and now that the characters have actually met my love interests, I'm starting to like figure out their actual like dynamic in dialogue, which has been really fun. It's going a little slowly, I have to say, but I'm happy with it and I'm kind of like having fun and kind of playing around with it. Aside from that, I've been developing the family relationships a lot more, and that has been really fun. When outlining, I'd kind of planned for my main character, Charity. She's the oldest of 11, and I was kind of planning for her, the next closest sister. She's only a year younger. Her name is Faith. I was kind of planning for that to be the main like sibling relationship and have just like little moments with others, but I've found myself kind of like falling into, she's having a very close, like almost kind of like parent-child relationship with one of her youngest siblings, Wyatt. He's 6, and then I had a nice moment between the oldest son, Maverick, and her, and I knew I would obviously be like developing these relationships more when drafting, but I kind of didn't expect these exact ones, and each sibling's like personality is kind of coming more into focus as I write. That's really exciting. It's hard when there's 11 siblings and one of them is a main character and the rest kind of have to fall into place, but it's happening and I'm really excited for more family chapters. Even though I'm in like the first like main love interest chapter, I'm really excited for more of the family relationships. So for next month, I'm hoping to get 15,000 words. Now I'm gonna have a little more free time on my hands. Still gonna be spending a lot of time on Indeed and LinkedIn, but I might as well take advantage while I'm kind of in like this lull. It happens every few months as a freelancer. I'm kind of used to it, but I really want to push myself and get to that 15,000, seeing if I can maybe double where I'm at so far. Like I said, I'm at 17,000. So if I can get above 32, like if I can get up to like 34k, like wow. I figured might as well try. I'm hoping for at least 2 1,000 word days. Maybe we'll see if we can push it to 3, who knows, but yeah, that's the plan, so wish me luck. So now onto what I watched this month. I know this is like an author to booktube kind of channel and like that's my goal, but I love any kind of like media and storytelling, so I figured this would be fun. Okay, so the first thing I watched this month was America's Sweethearts. It's the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders documentary reality show thing on Netflix. I watched season 2. I love this. I am a dancer as well. I started dancing when I was 4. Never to like their level or even their style really, but I absolutely loved it. I love season 1. It's so interesting to see like the behind the scenes of such like a historic group in the dance world, especially like sports dance. But the interesting thing about this season was that it followed kind of like the fallout and the outcome of season 1 being such a success, and you could kind of see that affecting the dancers and especially the 2 heads of the team, Kelly and Judy. It seemed like the dancers were more empowered. A huge storyline this season was getting a pay raise. They are criminally underpaid, at least at that time. The pay raise was successful, which is amazing because it was horrible. Like, girl. And we had seen DCCs have fought for higher pay before. I know there was like a lawsuit about it in like the 2010s, I believe. This was amazing to see. The success of season 1 definitely empowered the dancers, but it kind of made it seem like Kelly and Judy were a little scared in some instances. They seemed to be really thinking about optics a lot, especially when it came to like there was one of the main like training camp storylines was about Dayton, a daughter of a staff member who is also a potential legacy dancer. Her mother works with DCC and was a DCC, and it seemed like Kelly and Judy were focused on like the relationships that would be impacted within the organization and like that friendship with the mother who was a former DCC. I think her name was Shelly, but they were also thinking like how it would come off to like viewers, especially seeing how like Victoria and Tina were like treated the previous year. It was interesting. It was really interesting. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to season 3. Okay, and then the next thing I watched was Kim of Queens. I watched season 1 and 2. They're both available on YouTube. It's an old Lifetime show. This is like a pillar of 2010s reality TV for me. They were cooking with this one. Lifetime was cooking with this one. It's like Toddlers and Tiaras meets Dance Moms. It follows a teen beauty pageant training facility in Atlanta, Georgia. It is camp in its truest form. I swear, very cringy and cheesy and corny, and you can tell how much of it is like staged and like how many lines in the confessionals are scripted, but it's so fun that like you don't even care. It's so ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I love it. Like the cold opens to episodes will just be like them trying to hit the high notes in a song and just absolutely failing miserably. It's so funny. And if you have not seen it, go. It's literally all available for free on YouTube. Lifetime posted it themselves. It's just wonderful. If you were into Dance Moms at all, it's like Dance Moms like times 100. It's like Dance Moms, but like even more scripted. I can't even describe it. It's so funny. I absolutely love it. Go now. And then I'm not super a movie watcher, but I did rewatch A Walk to Remember like by Nicholas Sparks this month. A clip from it popped up on my like algorithm on Instagram. I was scrolling through reels and I was reminded of how much I loved the movie in like middle school and high school, and so it was available for free on YouTube, so I was like, hey, why not? I really loved it. It's cheesy, based on a Nicholas Sparks novel, but it was very nostalgic for me. I enjoyed it. It's nothing groundbreaking for sure, but I had a good time. It fed my 14-year-old self. And then the last thing that I watched this month, and I'm currently still watching, is Big Brother season 27 on CBS/Paramount Plus. I love the show. The show is so ridiculous, but the social strategy of it all is truly captivating. I am enjoying the season so much so far. Every HOH is sending home one of their own allies, somebody who was good for their game, and it is like, what's going on in that house? What is going on? I love that Rachel Riley came back for the season. That's Mother. That's really Mother. I'm just like absolutely loving her in the house. The fights that she would have with like Zay in week 1 and like her like back and forth relationship with Keanu is so funny to me. It's like the most toxic, hilarious thing. I love this show. I love this show so much. There are some really interesting dynamics this season. It's a very fluid group. There's like only like 2 or 3 named alliances, but they're not actually like real or loyal to each other. There's no like defined sides. Like any sort of alliance doesn't really mean much outside of like final twos, and even then it's like not necessarily like a thing. People are just really being loyal to like specific people, and relationships are kind of breaking down like within like 24 hours. It's really fascinating this season. Beyond Rachel, I'm really enjoying Morgan, Ava, Mickey, Lauren. I have to support a fellow indecisive superfan, Lauren, of course. Her HOH was kind of horrible, but she seems to have come out unscathed on the other side, so go off, girl. Yeah, I'm always rooting for the woman, of course. On the men's side, I kind of like Jimmy. He's fun. He's really fun. A lot of his like kind of like pre-scripted lines I've seen on Twitter, like half of them are stolen from Drag Race, and I'm like, go off, king. And then Vince is fascinating. He could be a really good Big Brother player, but he's lacking the initiative to like do anything with it. So we'll see where that takes him. I do follow with the live feeds, so spoilers for if you haven't watched any live feeds in week 4 or beyond. I'm filming this on August 3rd. Yesterday they played the veto in week 4, so spoilers for week 4 now. If you want to skip them, go to this timestamp. I'm giving you like 3, 2, 1. If Mickey sends Jimmy home on her HOH, I'm gonna be on the national news. What's she doing? What is going on? Why is everybody sending home their own allies? The fact that Riley won the HOH, Mickey activated her HOH takeover power because Riley was going to target her, Morgan, and Ashley, but then Riley is somehow not the target? What's going on? Why? What? I have no idea what they're thinking. Like, I think it was week 2, Jimmy's HOH. You could see like the trust between him, Mickey, and Morgan kind of starting to fall, and like that triple threat alliance is like not really real. And then last week, Mickey and Morgan were kind of like against each other. What is going on? Why are you sending home somebody who is so clearly a number for you, so clearly loyal to you? I'm just astounded. I'm astounded. The gameplay this season is abysmal. I'm loving it. It's so fascinating to watch. It's so fun. Like team fun feeds all the way. But What are we doing? Why aren't we getting Riley out of there? Free Catherine. Free Catherine from that man. Okay, rant over. Spoilers over. Let's move on to what I listened to this month. The main thing that I've been listening to this month, it's been on repeat, Never Enough by Turnstile. I am obsessed with this album. It is so good. It's something that shouldn't work, but it does. Like, why does post-hardcore, metal, dream pop work so well? This album is incredible. I really want to go to a Turnstile show, but I'm so terrified because they don't use barriers. People will regularly just run up on stage just so they can crowd surf. I'm like, it's a lot. I'm 5'3". I'm scared. I always stand in the back of standing room only shows anyway. I don't know if I could do it. Maybe if there's a VIP balcony, but it might not be for me. But I love the album so much. It's been on absolute repeat. My favorite tracks are Slow Dive, Soul, and Dreaming, but like honorable mentions to Never Enough and Birds, and also Light Design and Seeing Stars. Basically all of them. It's so good. Just listen to it, please. Please listen to it. And then the other album that I've really had on repeat has been Moisturizer by Wet Leg. This is their new one. It just dropped. It's so fun. I love this band. I've loved this band for years now. Back when Harry did his Wet Dream cover was when I first found out about them. Love them since then. They're so good. I was so excited for this album. My favorite tracks are CPR, Liquid Eyes, and Catch These Fists. They're very fun, very like bouncy, but like, oh, the guitar on this album is so fantastic. I love it. Oh, wonderful. But yeah, that just about sums this up. I've been filming for 30 minutes. Longest video yet, for sure. So let me know how July went for all of you, writing, reading, otherwise. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and I will see you hopefully for a reading vlog soon. Bye.